Celebrate, Coco Gauff. How a back-and-forth scramble secured March's shot of the month. A heavy air at the Miami Open often drains a player's movement, but Coco Gauff found a higher gear in the round of 16 to track down a ball she had no business reaching. Tied at 3-3 in the second set after winning the first, Gauff was stuck in a tactical bind. Swinging with a purpose continually pulled Gauff wide, stretching the court until the American was sprinting toward the doubles alleys. Eventually recognizing the opening, Kirsty moved in. She feathered a low, deadweight drop shot just over the net and died in the service box. From her position deep behind the baseline on the opposite wing, Gauff appeared all but eliminated from the point. But Gauff has a rare ability to shrink the court when she's on the run. She broke into a dead sprint, cutting a diagonal across the court to track it down. As the ball dipped toward its second bounce, Gauff lunged, her frame fully extended. With a flick of the wrist, she carved a backhand cross-court winner that bypassed a stunned Kirsty at the net. The ball landed just inside the sideline, turning a defensive nightmare into an offensive masterpiece. Even though she couldn't close out the set, Gauff's willingness to chase down every ball set the tone for the rest of the match. She recalibrated in the third, securing a 6-4, 3-6, 6-2 victory. Gauff eventually fell to world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka in the final, but that scramble stands out as one of the most memorable plays of the tournament, and one that earned her March's Shot of the Month honors. Celebrate, Coco Gauff. How a back-and-forth scramble secured March's Shot of the Month. The roar of the crowd rose and fell like a living tide, each gasp and cheer echoing the tension unfolding on the court. Under the bright stadium lights, Coco Gauff stood poised at the baseline, her focus unshaken despite the chaos of the rally that had just erupted. It was one of those moments in tennis that transcends the scoreline, a point that becomes a story, a memory, and, ultimately, a piece of brilliance worth celebrating. March's Shot of the Month was not just a single stroke of genius. It was a sequence, a relentless back-and-forth scramble that tested endurance, instinct, and creativity. And at the heart of it stood Gauff, blending athleticism with imagination in a way that felt both raw and refined. The rally began innocently enough, a deep return, a controlled cross-court exchange. But within seconds, it spiraled into something far more dramatic. Her opponent pushed her wide to the forehand corner, forcing Gauff into a full sprint. Sliding into position, she flicked the ball back with a defensive forehand, buying herself just enough time to recover, but the pressure didn't ease. A sharp reply came down the line, dragging her to the opposite side. Again she chased. Again she reached. Each step carved into the hard court was a testament to her speed and determination. The crowd sensed something special unfolding, every retrieval drawing louder applause, every impossible get turning disbelief into excitement. Then came the turning point. Pinned deep behind the baseline and seemingly out of options, Gauff faced a ball that demanded more than just defense. It demanded invention. With a quick adjustment of her grip and a flash of intuition, she sliced a delicate, angled shot that barely cleared the net. It wasn't just a recovery. It was a transformation from survival to attack. Her opponent lunged forward, managing to reach it, but the reply floated short. In that instant, Gauff transitioned seamlessly from scrambling defender to assertive aggressor. She stepped in, eyes locked on the ball, and unleashed a perfectly timed passing shot that curved just out of reach. The point was over. For a heartbeat, there was silence, as if the crowd needed a moment to process what they had just witnessed. Then the stadium erupted. It wasn't just applause, it was appreciation for something rare. A rally that showcased not only physical excellence, but also mental agility and creative flair. What made the shot, the final strike, worthy of March's Shot of the Month wasn't just its precision. It was the journey leading up to it. Every desperate sprint, every improvised return, every split-second decision built toward that climactic moment. It was a reminder that in tennis, brilliance often emerges from chaos. Gauff's performance in that rally highlighted a defining trait of her game, resilience paired with fearless creativity. Many players can retrieve. Many can attack. But to seamlessly blend the two under pressure, to turn defense into offense within a single point, requires a special kind of instinct. It also reflected her growth as a player. No longer just a rising star, Gauff has become a competitor who thrives in high-pressure exchanges. She embraces the unpredictable, finding opportunities where others see only survival. That rally was a microcosm of her evolution, a snapshot of a player learning not just to endure the game, but to shape it. Beyond the technical brilliance, there was something deeply human in the moment. The scramble, the recovery, the triumph. It mirrored the kind of persistence we admire beyond sport. The idea that even when pushed to the edge, there's always a chance to create something extraordinary. As highlights of the shot circulated and fans relived the rally from every angle, one thing became clear. This wasn't just about winning a point. It was about capturing the spirit of tennis at its most exhilarating. The unpredictability, the athleticism, the artistry, all condensed into a few unforgettable seconds. Celebrate Coco Gauff became more than a cheer. It became a recognition of what she represents, a new generation of players who bring energy, imagination, and relentless drive to the court. March's Shot of the Month will be remembered not just for its final flourish, but for the story it told, a story of movement, resilience, and daring creativity. And at its center, Gauff, sprinting, stretching, and striking with a brilliance that turned a scramble into a masterpiece. In tennis, points come and go. Matches are won and lost. But moments like these endure. They remind us why we watch, why we cheer, and why we celebrate. And this was worth celebrating.